What's going on YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry and I'm the it's this way. I'm the crypto vet. Thank you for tuning back in today. I know everybody's panicking, but we're going to go over a couple different scenarios so that way you are prepared to trade these markets and you have a better understanding of what's going on. We never know what's going to happen, but we can predict it based off of certain scenarios. So if you like this content, if you like this stuff that I keep bringing to you, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I really appreciate all the support. And if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at XRP Veterinarian. Links for the Twitch, Discord, all the other goodies are down below. But I just wanted to show you something that was pretty funny that fellow XRP YouTuber Kevin Cage posted. He has a picture here, and I don't remember who this is, but he just says HODL because this is what it started out as, and this is what it ended up as, right? So, is that Megan Fox? I'm not sure, but I thought it was funny as shit, so I retweeted it out. Kevin Cage, very cool guy, fabulous content. So if you haven't checked him out already, please check him out. Very good stuff. But let's go ahead and get started here on CoinMarketCap. Oh, look at the red. Shit is bleeding today. If we go over here to the biggest gainers, we have 3 coins that are still in the green. One that I bought a long time ago, and I know I mention this all the time, but I keep getting questions in the Discord about whether it's time to buy it or not again. I never just say to buy stuff that is in the green. However, I do think this coin in particular does have a lot of room to grow. You can see here we haven't quite met the all-time high. Once alt season comes, I do expect this one to take off just like every other crypto has in the past. This was, I think, a $250 investment about 8 to 10 months ago, and now we're up well over 10x. So just a thought. Remember, I'm just a doctor / idiot. It's not financial advice. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Who the fuck knows, okay? But just so you guys had an idea, this is the actual coin. I got it on KuCoin, and then that's what we've been following so far. But let's go ahead and start on Bitcoin dominance. If we head back to CoinMarketCap, we can see here at the top, 2 big things have happened. One, Bitcoin dominance did come back up just a tad bit, but it's still bordering around that 60%. Currently it says 60.2%. The Bitcoin dominance chart that I'm going to show you on TradingView is slightly different, but we can still look for key values. Just doesn't matter which chart you follow, as long as there's a break in the value or the chart that you're following. That's when you start to realize something else may be going on. The other thing is, though, Bitcoin has fallen below $1 trillion in itself. So the $1 trillion market cap for Bitcoin has been a very key support. So flipping below this is starting to make us worry that this is bearish. I personally didn't think we would flip below it. I thought we would go up a little bit higher, and then when we had our correction, we would not get back below the $53,000 area, which is keeping us at that $1 trillion market cap. So let's head over to Bitcoin dominance. When we were talking about Bitcoin dominance, we've said that if we drop below around the 60, 61 area, this is when we start to have an alt season. This pink magenta-ish line here, which is right at 61, this is when we drop below. We had a huge send-off on altcoins. When we had this drop here, altcoins went like crazy, specifically things like Ethereum, XRP, and all of that. When we had this drop here back in July of last year, we saw that we had a pickup in altcoins as well, but they were also bleeding because of the bad things that happened last year with the virus and things like that. So the key is, if we drop below this, will we see another alt season? Well, I definitely think we will, but what's happened in the past couple of weeks? Since January till now, Bitcoin's been going up pretty high, right? But Bitcoin dominance has gone down. Somebody asked me why. Well, the reason why is because money is not just going into Bitcoin, right? Money is going into a lot of different cryptocurrencies. So for Bitcoin to maintain the amount of money that keeps it at the dominance rate that it has to have the same amount of money going into it as it does altcoins. Well, in this case, even though Bitcoin's been going up like crazy, altcoins have been getting a lot of deposits at the same time. Think of some stuff like Ethereum. Ethereum is at 183 billion. We have Binance Coin at, almost 40 billion, Cardano almost 40 billion. So all of these other cryptos are slowly gaining up to get into the spot where Bitcoin is. So what we see is when we have a drop below this, this is when we start to see the money flow out of Bitcoin into alts. But that usually doesn't happen until Bitcoin hits its top. Do I think Bitcoin's hit its top? I don't think so yet. But we can always have a correction on Bitcoin like we're potentially seeing now, have a little mini alt season, something like this right here, and then we'll see it come back up. Bitcoin dominance will maybe steadily go up or continue to go down slightly, but altcoins altcoins and Bitcoin will still go up in tandem, okay? So just something to keep an eye out for. But let's go ahead and head over to Bitcoin on the daily right now. So one of the things that we were looking at was 3 different patterns here. So I have this bearish pennant, which is represented by the yellow lines here. We've come up, we've touched, and we finally broke that line. Now, a measured move of this, conservative measured move, is going to be just this yellow line. If we have it dropping from where we are now, you can see that this is getting us a very bearish target of around 30,000. If we did a full move, not a conservative move all the way, we could see potentially as low as 20,000. Do I think we'll go this low? Not realistically, but it's not impossible. Okay, so that's one scenario, and these are in no particular order. The next one is that we've sort of followed out now is we have this orange scenario, and this here is from the top that we had, and then we have right on this 0.5 fib line, and this fib lines are drawn from an extension from the low all the way back here to our current high, and then to the low of this bearish pattern. And the reason I did that is because after drawing tons and tons of fib lines, this one lined up the most with everything as far as any trends that I could find. And it also lined up with VPVR as well as key moving averages that Bitcoin has really held strong to. So we can see here that this is maybe potentially a descending triangle. And what happened? We broke below this flat level of support and the 0.5 Fibonacci level. We actually broke the bearish pennant bottom support. So this here, just for in the short term, a measured move of this descending triangle is going to put us to what I think would be our realistic drop. This is where I think Bitcoin is going to go. I don't expect it to go much lower. Remember, this is just my personal opinion on charts, and then me running, highest probability and, the lowest probability. So, and the reason why I think so is I think that the $46,000 to $47,000 range has so much support. One being this trend line right here from a previous top to the Tesla pump where we came back down and actually confirmed it. We had the big support right here, and this is also the 0.382 fib level. So this right here, I think, will be our big support. Now the question is, will we come into this pattern, fall down to here, get a good bounce, and turn this into a giant symmetrical triangle with this orange being the resistance and this green being the support? Then if we have a bounce to the upside, we actually trade a little bit right here and then break to the upside, then we can potentially set new all-time highs and go crazy from there and reset some of these oscillators. So that's another scenario that could happen. But a third one would be if we did come through here and then we didn't make it up and we came down, we would have a giant head and shoulders pattern. Now, if that was to come to fruition, we come back to having a very bearish target, and then what do you know? It takes us way back down here to, roughly $30,000 again. So I don't think that one's going to be the play out because we have a lot of support in between, but what we could do is kind of meet in the middle, and this is where I put the weekly EMA support or the big even at around 40K. So what would happen is we would drop with an expectation of people coming down to here, but with increased buying pressure, increased inflation potentials with the US dollar and stimulus, and a whole list of things which I've talked about in a ton of different videos, we would finally come down and touch our 20 weekly exponential moving average, which I've gone over many times in the past. If we go all the way back here to when we hit 20,000, you can see these little blips down here where we finally came down and actually tested this 20 weekly exponential moving average. So will that be the case that happens? Not sure. Personally, I think the low for this drop is not going to be any lower than around 45, 46,000. But these are some different scenarios that you can think about. If we do drop below this line here, it's most likely that we're going to come down to this point. If we drop below this line, it's most likely that we're going to come down. And this would be the stair step that we get. But remember, we're in a bull run. So for every drop, there is going to be a relief rally to the upside. Now, what changes when we actually make it to trend reversal is during that relief rally, we get past a resistance and turn that resistance into support, and then the trend flips. So right now, what we're doing is we're waiting to see what happens. Am I bearish in the immediate short term? Hell yeah. We've broken a key resistance. And if you look here, we were following this RSI from all the way back in March of last year when we had our initial dump and Bitcoin was down at around $3,000 to $4,000. We've been there, we touched, came up, we touched, and what do you know? We finally broke down on the RSI at the same time we broke out of this bearish pennant. We have a lot of bullish divergence. This is a downward sloping trend line on the RSI. This is an upward sloping trend line on price. So this, to me, thinks that we will definitely go down and we will come down some more. Now, the question is, again, where will we find support? I do believe if you turn this into a channel, we will find support on the RSI around the 34 to 35 region, which I haven't calculated it, and I actually have to really crunch the numbers to see, but I believe that would actually be down to around the $44,000 level. So maybe we'll have a wick down below just like we did here. But in the end, I just think that there's way more bearish incentive at the moment than there is bullish. If we zoom in to say the hourly and the 4 hourly, we do have a little bit of bullish divergence here. We do have a double buy symbol. You can kind of see a faint green line here. So there's a hidden slight bearish or bullish divergence here, showing that we could have a nice pump up. But the thing is we got to get above this $53,000 level. And if you see here, we've been struggling on the 4 hour. We just closed another 4 hour and we're heading lower. So we just got to do our best to get back above that. If we get back above the 54,000, back into this bearish pennant that we have right here, and we close back above the 20 daily exponential moving average, there's a good chance that we're probably going to head to the upside. So, you know, this is how we're making our trades. This is what we're doing in the end, holding most of your portfolio and just dollar cost averaging. Time will make you more money than trading. I cannot stress that enough. So that's where I think we're headed with Bitcoin. It's, you know, it's always sucks to see things go down, but this is the time to buy. When you see all this red, man, this is coupon code. Bitcoin 10% discount, Ethereum 8.5% discount, Binance Coin 13% discount, Cardano 5% discount. This is when you buy. People are scared. People are selling at a discount. You know it's going to go up, right? You know it's going to go up. So this is the time to buy. So that's where we're heading on Bitcoin. I'll have all the charts in the Discord. If you did want them, you can always message me on there and I can send you updated ones as we go. But now with XRP, if you were following my last video, I told you guys I didn't think this is the one. XRP loves to fake you out, get you balls deep in there thinking it's time to long at 50x and it's going to go to the fucking moon. And it doesn't. We're not there yet. But we're close, okay? So Bitcoin caused us to drop to the downside, but it wasn't all Bitcoin. I know a lot of people are saying Bitcoin's the reason XRP can't go up. Every time it tries to go up, it gets suppressed down. Whether there's suppression or not, XRP has been in a downtrend just as much as Bitcoin. It has to break through these resistances the same way. Interest is not there for XRP like it is for Bitcoin, all right? There's not as many XRP and, you know, Ripple fans as there are Bitcoin fans. So we came up, we got rejected right at the 60-cent point. We couldn't get over that, and we came down. But what we do have that is really good is if we look, we came up and we almost confirmed the breakout here as support. Well, we're not quite there yet, so what's going to happen? We're going to trade somewhere in between here. If we can confirm this stuff as support down here, we'll eventually break to the upside. And just like here in the past, we came up, we thought this was the time to go. We traded sideways for a long time, another 10, 20 days before we broke up. But when it did break up, it broke up with force and momentum. And every time that we do that, eventually we're going to get past this 76, 80 cent region. When we do, the sky's the limit. There's not much volume traded there. There's not much resistance there. This is where all the resistance is. So like I said, it takes 1 to 2 weeks for these patterns to confirm. If we head back here to the weekly, I was saying, you know, just because we're above here, we started this weekly candle right here. Seemed like a good thing, right? Well, we still have 3 days and 8 hours before this weekly candle is confirmed above this resistance. See, it pumped up. We got, got little chubbies, and it just didn't quite happen. And I said that it could take 1 to 2 weeks before we confirm that we are above this, and potentially maybe not confirm it. We may actually come back down and retest this 20 weekly exponential moving average and end up forming something like this. Still the same, still the same trend lines, just we actually don't hold this one like we were originally thinking. We actually come down to retest back in the 30s before we pump up. XRP is a patience game. Most people will sell out before the pump. When the pump happens, they'll buy back in at a increased cost. And then at that point, it's too late most of the time. So like I said, just be patient. XRP is going, or Ripple's going to win this case. I mean, SEC is literally digging themselves in a hole. They're fucking idiots. I mean, I feel like half of those crooks should go to jail, but it is what it is. We have to play the game with them if we want to succeed. We can't just be little titty babies and whine about it, right? So let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. If we go and head to the 4 hour, we had maybe a little head and shoulders falling. We fell off of our support. You can see the 20 daily exponential moving average is the blue line. There was our trend line from the previous. Here's our support from the previous, and we fell off. This is, like I was saying, the relief rally, where people are like, okay, that's the bottom. That's where it's going to go. I want to see a double bottom. We want to come up here, and I want to see good support here. I want to see money flow finally starting to round off. I want to see the VWAP starting to move up. I want to see good volume, and preferably several green dots at the bottom here with an RSI that's pretty low, showing that, yep, we came back, relief rally, people sold off, and then it's like, nope, we're not going any lower than that. Then start to trend up, and instead of these M's, I want to see this go into a W and then take off, just like we did right here and here, these W's, right? So that's what I'm waiting for. I do think this is going to take till about the beginning of April, another week or so before we'll see that, and hopefully by then Bitcoin's either found its bottom and continued upwards, or continues trading sideways, showing that money can flow into other coins with the dominance starting to go to the downside. So I know that was a lot of information, guys. Crypto and trading and stuff is not something you just learn overnight, but it's not as hard as you think. And you just have to take your emotion out of it and just follow what the chart says and have a strategy. And the strategy is, if this happens, I do this. If this happens, I do that. And the rest of it is honestly not trading as much, because you'll lose more doing more trades than you will just sitting down, which is why I play video games on Twitch, and I have like maybe 1 to 2 trades open every day, if that, and it's only purely for example, just to show that it is possible. But that's going to do it here for today. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, anything you want covered. And again, links for Discord, Twitch, all that fun stuff is down below, and I will be streaming on Twitch here later today. So if you want to watch me play some Call of Duty and trade some cryptos at the same time and get some questions answered, I'm here for you. You have a good one.